الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله علي الذات عظيم الصفات سمي السمات كبير الشان جليل القدر رفيع الذكر مطاع جليل البرهان فخيم الاسم غزير علم وسيل حلم كثير الغفران جميل الثناء جزيل عطاء مجيب الدعاء والإحسان سريع الحساب شديد العقاب أليم العذاب عزيز السلطان ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له في الخلق والأمر ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين صدق الله العظيم فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أما بعد. Respected brothers and sisters, we should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah alladhi hadana lihada wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allah. We should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given us the greatest gift, which is the blessings of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That because of this blessing, one day inshallah we will enter into Jannah. And we are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has made us from the ummah of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And not only that, but we are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given us another opportunity to make our akhirah a better place for ourselves. He has given us an opportunity in the last 10 nights of Ramadan to make the best of. That Allah is giving us an opportunity where in one night we can do so much that a person would accumulate and do in 83 years. Subhanallah. So this is something that Allah has given us, and as the hadith of Prophet ﷺ goes, and he mentions that there are people who come in these last 10 nights but they don't accomplish anything. And these are the people who are considered as mahroom. These are the people who are considered as mahroom. They are deprived. And what the ulama they say is that when we are approaching these last 10 nights, we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. That may He not hold a sin against us because of which we are deprived in the last 10 nights. We all, as human beings, we are weak. We have deficiencies. And that's why when you ask people, and when you look at people who have the physical capacity to go for Hajj or Umrah, they have the financial capacity to go for Hajj and Umrah, and yet they don't go for Hajj and Umrah. When people ask me why does that take place, I always say that it's very possible, and this is something that the ulama they also mentioned, that it's very possible that this person has committed a sin, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is holding him back because of that sin. So that's why in these last 10 nights, we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, oh Allah, forgive my sins. Forgive me for my shortcomings, and do not hold me, do not use a sin of mine to hold me back from benefiting for these last 10 nights of Ramadan. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. What I want to talk about today in my khutbah is something that a lot of us, many of us are struggling in the community. Whether it's in general, imams, whether it's volunteers in a community, whether it's people who are dedicated to an organization, people who are in the field of da'wah, whether it's going outside and giving da'wah to non-Muslims, whether it's going and feeding the poor and the needy, or going anywhere else, and these are all volunteer-based work I'm talking about. But there is something that we're all struggling with, and that is creating a balance within our life. There is a problem in our life, and because of which the people around us in our family are being affected. I'm going to first share with you a basic day in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. See, when we say the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we always say that the Prophet alaihi wasallam would do this, the Prophet alaihi wasallam would do this. But it's very important that we understand that the Prophet alaihi wasallam had a basic schedule too. Just like we have a basic schedule, the Prophet also had a basic schedule. And I want to quickly just run through this basic schedule just to give you an idea, and it's going to actually lead me to the next points I want to mention in my khutbah. And I'm not mentioning every single thing in his schedule, so please do not hold me to this. Because of the khutbah time, inshallah, after Ramadan, I plan to have a program at the Masjid in talking about the life of the Prophet ﷺ in great detail. But just to give you like a rundown, the Prophet ﷺ, he would wake up early in the morning. He would perform his qiyam al-layl. At that time, he would perform his qiyam al-layl. Bilal radiallahu ta'ala would give the adhan. He would take a brief rest. Then Abdullah ibn Maktoum radiallahu ta'ala would give the adhan. If he's inside his home, he would perform his salat sunnah. And as you know that the Prophet ﷺ's room was adjacent to the masjid. His house was right next to the masjid. So he would get outside his room and he would come to the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala and he would lead the Sahaba in Salat al-Fajr. After Salat al-Fajr, he will remain in dhikr, in the tilawah, until sunrise, and then he will perform 2 rak'ah of shuruq, which is, as you all know, that a person who does this will get the reward of an accepted Hajj and Umrah. After that, he will turn around and he will talk to the Sahaba, and he wouldn't have any questions. Did anyone see a dream last night that I can interpret? Is there any concerns in the community? And the Sahaba, they would exchange, they would have a dialogue with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This would go on for some time. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would come back home, and if there was anything to take care of at home, he would take care of those matters. In the afternoon, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would take a power nap, which in Arabic is called qaylula, a brief moment where a person sleeps, just to gain his energy. After Salat al-Dhuhr, the Prophet ﷺ, he would address the delegates and the delegations that would come to Medina. And that's why we find a hadith narrated by Umm Salama radiallahu ta'ala anha, that one time the Prophet ﷺ, he was praying some salat in the time of Salat al-Asr. And as you know, that after Salat al-Asr, you cannot pray any other salat. But one time the Prophet ﷺ was praying another salat after Salat al-Asr, in the time of Salat al-Asr. So Umm Salama radiallahu ta'ala anha, she was very curious, and she says, Ya Rasulullah, I never see you praying salat at this time. What salat are you praying? And the Prophet ﷺ, he says that today, there were some people who came from another place, from another city, they came to visit me, and I was talking to them and I was busy with them, that I could not take care of my sunnah for Salat al-Dhuhr, and that's why I'm praying my sunnahs of Salat al-Dhuhr right now. And without getting into the fifth implication of this hadith, then after that, the Prophet ﷺ, he would perform his Salat al-Asr. After Salat al-Asr, he would go to each of his wives and sit with them for a while and ask them if they had anything, or if they want to talk about anything. The wives of the Prophet ﷺ, the Ummahat al-Mu'mineen, if they had anything in the house, they would share with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If they received a gift or any food, they would share with the Prophet alayhi salam. It says that after Salat al-Maghrib, the Prophet ﷺ, again, he would engage in his dhikr. And then after that, he would go to his homes. He would go to his home, and the night, in the house where he had to stay that night, he would go to that home. And he would sit down with the family. And this was considered as the Prophet time, or the Prophet talk, where the Prophet ﷺ, he would talk to his family members. It is mentioned in some hadith that even on Thursday nights, he would sometimes go and address the women at that time. But nonetheless, it was a time when the Prophet ﷺ would give to his family. That's why you all know that in Surah Al-Hujurat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he slightly refers to this. That there was a man who came to the Prophet ﷺ, and he was just calling out the name of the Prophet, Ya Muhammad, where are you? Come outside. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says that وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ صَبَرُوا حتى تخرج إليهم لكان خيرا لهم إن الذين ينادونك من وراء الحجرات أكثرهم لا يعقلون. The people who came in and they did this, they don't understand. But if they were patient until the Prophet ﷺ was finished and he'd come out and then he addressed their needs, this would be better for them. Then after Isha, Salat Isha, the Prophet ﷺ, he would again engage in dhikr, in tilawah. Once again, if anyone came, had any questions, they would ask the Prophet ﷺ, he would answer it. But then this was a time that if there was no questions, there were no concerns, he would go immediately home and he would take a brief nap, or some say, as Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, that she would say that right before the Prophet ﷺ, he would go to bed, he had a lot of du'as and adhkar that he would generally recite before he went to bed. Now this is just a very brief overview of what the life was of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because when you look at the life of the Prophet, number one that we learn is that there is no one in this entire congregation, there is no one who is more busier and who was more busier than Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet alayhi salam had the most responsibilities that any man could have, any person could have. And yet we see that throughout the schedule, not only the Prophet ﷺ took care of the affairs of the masjid, there was a time that he gave to the community, there was time that he gave to his family, there was time that he gave to his children, to a point that whenever he was even busy, when Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, she would come to Rasulullah ﷺ, not a single time did the Prophet ﷺ tell her that, you know what, Dad is busy right now. Don't you understand? Can't you see what I'm doing right now? Go home. When I come home, I'll talk to you that time. No, he never said that to Fatima radiallahu ta'ala. When Fatima radiallahu ta'ala would come in, he would get up. I mean, look at the love and the respect a father had for his own child. He would kiss Fatima on the head and then bring her to his own place and make her sit in her own place. This is who Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was. SubhanAllah. So we see that the Prophet ﷺ, he had time for everyone. Not only that, but there is something that's mentioned by Ibn Abbas, and even though some of the ulama have said that this saying of Ibn Abbas is weak, but it is da'if, but nonetheless this gives you an idea that Ibn Abbas said that there was every single day was appointed for something very specific. Like if the Prophet ﷺ wanted to do something very something that would take extra time, he would appoint a day for that. So we see that in the entire life of the Prophet ﷺ, he gave everyone their rights. Not only that, today we have few children. The Prophet ﷺ had many children. We have only one spouse, one wife. The Prophet had multiple wives. And subhanAllah, we don't ever find in any hadith or any report that a wife of the Prophet ﷺ said that, you know what, the Prophet ﷺ never fulfilled my right. Or the Prophet ﷺ, he pushed me aside and I was the loner of all the wives. He never looked after me like the way he looked after the other wives. Or neither do we find from any child or any children of Rasulullah ﷺ that my father would give more time to her or him rather than giving time to me. The Prophet ﷺ was just with everyone. Every one of his kids, every one of his spouses, and this is who Rasulullah ﷺ was. And the reason why he was like this is to set an example for all of us. That's why he did this. And so what we learn is that there has to be a balance. SubhanAllah, in the Quran we find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Baqarah, he says that وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. We have created you as a moderate ummah. You're not here, you're not there. You're not extreme on either side. We have created you as a moderate ummah. In all your affairs of life, you have to be moderate. You cannot be extreme on either side. But you have to be fair with everyone around you. It said that when the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, they migrated to Medina, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, with each muhajir, he assigned an ansar. It said that one of the people who was assigned to Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala anhu, his name was Salman. Salman one time came to check about Abu Darda, and he saw that the wife of Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala anha, she was there. And she seemed like, her clothes were looking really, old and so forth. And she asked the wife of Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala anha, that what's going on? And she said that your brother Abu Darda, he has no time for us. He's always busy. During the day he's fasting. During the night he's praying. He has no time for the family. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he called Abu Darda. And he explained to him that وَإِنَّكَ وَلِبَدِنِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٌّ وَلِأَهْلِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٌّ, that your body has a right upon you. Your family, you have to fulfill their rights too. The people around you, you have to fulfill their rights too. And the Prophet ﷺ is teaching Abu Darda that even though you fast every single day, there are days that I fast and there are days that I don't fast. So that there's a balance in my life. So for people who are considered as like volunteers, people who are considered, and without any exception, I'll even hold myself accountable on this too. The people who are extremely engaged with masajid, or da'wah work, any kind of da'wah work, or feeding other people, a lot of times what happens is that they are so engaged with their work that there is no balance in their life anymore. People are getting upset in their families. And believe it or not, as parents, and if you are a mother in a family, if you are the wife of the household, and you are so engaged with so much other work outside the masjid that you're not giving time to the people inside your home or house, or let's flip the coin here. Let's say you are the husband or the father of the family, and you're always out. You're always out. You're always giving time to other people and other things, that you have no time for your family. Believe it or not, this can backfire. This can backfire. I have seen people in my own life, that the father is so dedicated. He's running around here and there. Anytime there is a request that we need someone to go and feed the people over here, I'm ready. We need someone to go and give dawah over here, I'm ready. We need someone to do something at the masjid, I'm ready. And by all means, I'm not trying to discourage the volunteers of any organization. We need volunteers. Organizations such as EPIC, they run on volunteers. They run on volunteers. But at the same time, there has to be a balance. And what happens is that when there is no balance, the children are watching. That I have a friend, and his father is always at home, and he's giving time to his child, and he's also engaged with the masjid, but why is it that my father never has time for me? And you know what happens over time? They actually build a resentment with the masjid. I don't want nothing to do with this. I want nothing to do with this. There are people who go out for dawah efforts, and they give no time to their family. And I have seen those same kids, that when those kids, they grow up and now their father is saying that, you know what, I want you to follow my footsteps. I want you to go outside and give dawah like the way I give dawah. You know what's the first thing they tell their father? I don't want to do what you do. Because I want to be the person that I want to give time to my future family. You never gave time to your family. You never created a balance in your life. So instead of bringing them closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they don't want to come closer to Allah anymore. People come to the masjid and they're at the masjid for so long. Look, brothers and sisters, if you're going to come to the masjid and you're going to be here at the masjid for a very long time, then don't bring your kids. You know what happens? You bring your kids and they're sitting at the masjid, they have nothing to do. And you know what happens? They build a resentment with the masjid. Do you really want to do that? Do you want these kids to grow up and not like the masjid? Is that what we want to do? Is that why we're building a huge masjid in the back? Is that why we're doing all this? To build a resentment within our kids? That when the father is not going to the masjid and he says that, you know what, I'm going to the masjid. And he says, you know what, I don't want to go with you. Because you're going to go there and you're going to spend 10 hours. And this is not only directed at the board members. Because board members are busy. But even in general, there are a lot of people who come to the masjid and they just sit at the masjid all day long. And they're busy with different things. And the kids are the ones who are suffering. And that's why there has to be a balance in our life. There has to be a balance in our life. Inshallah, in the next part of the khutbah, I won't take it long because I know there are people who might be sitting outside and it's hot outside. But inshallah, in the next part of the khutbah, I'm just going to just give you an action item, inshallah, and then I'll round up the khutbah. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله اما بعد. فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد أما بعد. The action item I want to share with all of you is that each one of you sitting over here, you play a very different role within your own family. You play a role within your own life. So we have over here in this congregation, we have mothers, we have fathers, we have students, we have husbands, we have wives, we have youngsters. And for each one of us, it is important that we create a balance in our life. For example, if you are a youngster, you need to create a balance between the masjid, you need to create a balance between your studies, fulfilling the responsibilities of your parents, and if you have any other responsibilities at home, that is your job. You have to create a balance. If you are giving all your time for your studies and you have no time for the masjid, you have no time for your parents, you have no time for the people in your family, and you treat your home like a hotel, like you come whenever you want and you leave whenever you want, that is an injustice. That is an injustice. If you are a father or a husband, then you have work, you have deadlines, you have your children, you have the masjid. And you have some other things that you may want to pursue. You may have some career goals that you want to pursue. You may have some other projects that you want to pursue. Create a schedule for yourself. That every single day during this time, I'm going to give time for this. I'm going to give time for this. There's only one day in a week that I can give time to my career. That's the day I'm going to give to pursue some other career goals. If you are a mother or a wife in the family, then it becomes your responsibility that you make sure that you have to give time to your kids. You have household responsibilities. You have to take care of the things inside your house, so make sure you do all of that. You have classes to attend. You want to come to the masjid, make sure there's a balance in your life. So for each one of us, instead of pointing the fingers at others, we need to point the fingers at ourselves. Create a schedule for ourselves. And remember, whatever time that you have allocated on your schedule for that, for example, you say that, you know what, this time of the day, let's say Mondays from like 7 to 10 o'clock, it's only family time, then you should try to stick to family. Put away your phone. If you know, like one thing that I can tell you very honestly, even as imams and religious leaders, the phone is one thing that is the most difficult to handle. Because it's always ringing, it's always questioning, this and that, emails after emails. But then there has to be a balance. There was no one who was more busy in the life than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had the entire ummah on his shoulders. He is responsible for the entire ummah. And yet he gave everyone their due right. And that's why whenever we have given time to our family, then put aside our phones. If I know that my phone is going to distract me, in my time from spending time with my family, you need to put away your phone. Anything that can distract you from your kids, you put that away. If it's your laptop, then it's your laptop. If it's your television, you shut off your television. But whatever time that you have allocated, you need to give that thing in itself its time. You need to give it its rights. Now, when this khutbah is over, you may go outside, and some husbands may tell their wives that, see, look what the Imam was saying. You don't cook food at home. Why? Because you're always busy outside the house. And the wife may say also to the husband that, see, look what the Imam was saying. You never give time to your kids. You should listen to what he says. And the reaction for some of us may be that, you know what? I give so much time to the masjid, I give so much time to this dawah effort and this and that, and I'm so much engaged in the community that, you know what? After this, I'm done. I don't want to do anything more after this. That's not imbalance either. We have to create a balance. If you create a balance, or if we create a balance in our life, I guarantee you, our life will be much more smoother. Our life will be much more smoother. And it's not easy. Last thing I want to say, it is not easy to create a balance. Wallahi, it's not easy. One day you have a schedule, something pops up in your schedule and your whole schedule is upside down. It's human nature. It's what life is all about. But we try on our end, try to create a balance so that everyone in our life, our masjid gets our time, our family gets our time, our children gets our time, our jobs, businesses, they get their time. We give time to ourselves also. We give time to ourselves. Every person needs their own time. Give time to yourself also. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to create a balance in our life. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all those who are volunteering, all those who are engaged in organizations, all those who are in the field of da'wah, all those who are doing any kind of good work, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the ability to fulfill everyone else's rights. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, more than anything else, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us in the month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the du'as of the entire Muslim Ummah in the month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu